Hi, Misha here, and I guess Space Week continues. Originally, I did a video, kind of an overview of the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo capsules a week ago. Then I put up a video, kind of an overview of the Space Shuttle a few days back. Then I took a break and did the Battlestar Issue 8 Pegasus, because that's something a couple of people had asked about. And now I'm returning to look at the X-37B, also known as the Orbital Test Vehicle, OTV. And this model is from Dragon Wings, or Dragon Space. And frankly, I bought it because it was on sale. It was 1/72 scale, which matches with several other things I have. And I needed something else to kind of fill up an order and help with shipping. So I really wasn't expecting much. My experience with the Dragon in the past hasn't been amazing. I find their models to be a little too finely detailed and fragile for comfort. So when I picked this one up, I was actually pretty impressed. It is mostly die-cast. The main body is a solid chunk of metal, with the wings being plastic, model plastic, resin, whatever you want to call it. So it's got a good weight to it for its size. And also impressive, it has the option to deploy landing gear in or out. I like them up, but it did come with 3 tiny little landing gear indoors. This little bubble there is just a screw that's used for putting it on the stand. That's just how Dragon does theirs. It just comes off. So it's not a big deal. It comes with a little stand. And the gear, as I said. And it was $25. Well, the Space Shuttle had its own video, nearly 20 minutes long. So I'm not going to. And the door fell out. Oh well. Yeah, my front landing door doesn't like to stay in. I need to work on that a little more. Anywho, the Space Shuttle had its own video. This was, of course, first seen Enterprise in 1976, rolled out. It had glide test in 1977. Then Columbia was the first shuttle to go into orbit in 1981. And they would make Challenger, Discovery, and Atlantis ending in 1985. And then after the Challenger disaster, they would do Endeavour, which would go up in 92. So there were a total of 6, 3 of which exist today. It's about 122 feet long, just under 60 feet tall, has a 60-foot cargo bay, and can carry up to 8 astronauts. And of course it's launched with the 2 solid rockets plus the tank and its own 3 engines. Well, the X-37 project actually got started in 1999 at NASA, and it was designed to be a smaller version of the Space Shuttle in a lot of ways, about 1/4 the size, about 29 feet. It was meant to be reusable and also remote or robot controlled. And it was powered with 1 thruster in the back, 1 engine. It has pretty stubby little wings. Originally the idea was this would be in the cargo bay of the shuttle, and it would be launched from the shuttle to go resupply space stations or work on satellites or whatever, and then it would glide itself back to Earth and land robotically. The Soviet Buran space shuttle did this successfully in 1988, so it was not unprecedented to have a robot-controlled shuttle glider, space plane if you will. However, after the Columbia disaster and some other things, this was transferred over to DARPA, Department of Defense, in 2003, and then was taken over by the Air Force, yada yada. It became a classified project, and in 2006, they did a series of glide tests with the X-37A. It was not a fully functional version. It did not have the cargo bay. Instead, the doors were basically shut or fixed for use with the parent craft. It successfully completed several glide tests. Also had issues with others, but really just through mishaps, nothing really its fault. Anyway, these were completed, and in November of that same year, the Air Force announced the X-37B is an updated and improved version. It would have a cargo bay that was about 7 feet by 4 feet, and it would be launched into space. First, they were going to use a Delta rocket, then an Atlas, and then they've also used some of the SpaceX rockets to launch these since. Well, they would build one X-37A, and then they would build two X-37Bs, and the Air Force would launch the Bs, ongoing, but so far there have been 4 completed missions, with a fifth ongoing right now as of April of 2019. The first one would go up in 2010, and actually these were extremely long duration missions. The first one was about 270 days. The longest one to date so far was just a hair under 718 days, although the current mission could exceed that, and there's planned to be a 6th mission launched in December of this year. Everything that these do is classified, which of course, the internet being the internet, has led to all kinds of conspiracy theories from, spy surveillance, setting up spy satellites, all kinds of stuff of that nature, as you would imagine. Also testing new propulsion, yada yada yada. But yeah, the Air Force's space plane, which has been quite successful. It's kind of a small space shuttle. There are plans, at least on the drawing board, theoretically, to have a version that's scaled up and capable of transporting 6 humans as well. So yeah, I just thought I'd pick up this model. Why not? And I'm kind of pleasantly surprised. I wasn't really expecting a whole lot, one way or the other, but I guess this is the closest we really got to a spaceship this day and time, since the space shuttle has been out of commission for 8 years. And I just brought out the OV 165 model from Eaglemoss. You've seen it in 1 or 2 other videos. This is the space plane seen at the introduction of the Enterprise series, and it is basically a self-contained takeoff space plane with kind of a ramjet or spike type engine. Basically, it would just take off from Earth and fly up to something like the International Space Station. And this would have been crewed and kind of carrying on the shuttle tradition. And it is based kind of very loosely on some real-world concepts such as the X-33 and the X-38. Also, the X-37 has a little bit of influence, as you can probably see. So I just thought I'd bring it out. It's another diecast model. Of course, none of these are in scale. This is 172. The shuttle is 1/200, because if it were in 172, it would be massive. In a cool way. And I have no idea what the Star Trek ship is in, because probably they don't know. But yeah, I just thought I would share this with you. It's a neat little plane and a neat little story, and kind of an ongoing project. Well, any questions or comments, I welcome them below as always. If you could, like, share, subscribe, and check out some of my other videos. This is Misha, and I'll catch you very soon next time.